from the tracks of the buffalo, we'd realized that they had disappeared into another pride's territory and were now inaccessible to these lions. The pride was randomly moving to see what else they could find to kill. The first prey species they stumbled across was a large herd of impala. Impala are not the easiest animals to hunt, especially when you have unruly and noisy cubs tagging along. The impala spotted them from quite a long way off. It was a young unruly cub that gave their position away. And their cover was blown. They continued into the late afternoon light. And just at twilight, they showed interest in almost anything that moved, including a cameraman and a camera. We found the pride just before sunrise. They had continued past Fourth Bridge and started to curl around the bottom of their territory past Magwegana. It's quite a distance to have gone over the last 2 days, from the northeasternmost point of their territory to almost the southernmost tip. These are common movement patterns that we seem to see with these lions when the buffaloes are not in their territories. After sleeping for most of the day, the pride started to move in the late evening. Lechwe, grazing, relatively unhappy, watched them pass. They really marched that evening and just before dark crossed over Third Bridge and disappeared north still towards Mboma Island. By the following morning, we picked up the pride on the westernmost edge of Mboma Island. Now this is as far as we have seen this pride going west, and it's debatable whether that area even belongs to them. A very dangerous move for this pride, especially with their cubs. I think the presence of the males may have given them the confidence to push their boundaries a little more than they should. This march that they were on was rhythmic and consistent, and this pride was really just on the move. 3 days of traveling and more than 25 kilometers. I still assume that it is in search of buffalo. The most recent sign of buffalo that we have found has been in the direction that they are headed.
we come across a large herd of Cape buffalo numbering about 400 individuals, I suppose. The herd's moving south, and they must cross a narrow floodplain in order to get to the neighbouring island. The bulls, as always, remain in the periphery. The two Kakanika pride males are trailing the herd. The buffalo, although they cannot see them, know that the lions are there, and they're edgy. One of the males, the larger of the two, sets off across the edge of the herd and moves into some thick bush. He spooks a group of stragglers that have not yet made it across the water, and the buffalo begin to run. We reposition and move around, and we find him locked onto the jugular of a large buffalo cow. With surprising ease, the lion manages to toss the buffalo, much larger and heavier than himself, and he tightens his suffocating grip on her throat. Without the intervention of the herd, she has no chance of escaping her fate here. The second male, appearing very blasé about the whole situation, limps slowly in, and he begins to feed before the cow is even dead. First lion does not release his grip until he is absolutely certain that the cow is dead and there's no more movement from her. Once this is accomplished, he soon moves to the rear of the buffalo to begin to feed. The buffalo continue heading south, becoming surprisingly relaxed very quickly again.